Alright, listen. This is a billion times. I mean, there's no telling how many times people have done this, but come on. People need to know how to play the game. People want to learn, and I don't blame them. I've always wanted to learn. I still want to get better. So, I'm just going to make this quick video, show people what they can do, and some other things that they can do to get better. So, yeah, we're going to head over there. Woohoo! First, though, we obviously got to get in a code. I mean, everyone knows how to get into a code. If you don't, well, then I don't know what to tell you. But, I mean, I can still show you real quickly. You want to come over to the room. But first, if you don't have your name or color done, let's go ahead and get that done. Click these buttons right here. I'm going to show you how to go up or down. We're going to go down here to name. And we're just going to mirror the name. We're going to, I'm going to state mine. We're just going to type in something we want. So let's do Harry. Let's do Harry. All right, there. Harry from Harry Potter. Click enter, and then boom, there's my name. My name is set. Voila. Then let's say you want to change the color code. So we'll come down here to color, and I'll be like, and you press these buttons. So let's say, I want a purple color. All right, let's just do 5. Click option 2 to go to green. Let's do 3, and then come here, and we'll keep blue as 9. So there we go. This nice nice purple color. Also, another thing to mention, you can come on over here to this section here. As you can see, this is where you can change your cosmetics. Press the buttons to do them. Little trick, double tap them, instantly take them off. But you can also come over here, and you can change your color code. Let's put it back to my normal color. There we go. And then I'll come down here, and I'll put my name back to normal, just so I can show you that. Alright, boom. Alright, now, we've got to go into a code. So, boom. We've got our code. Let's go ahead and go in. This is me after editing. I forgot to mention how do you go into a code if you don't know how. You come over here to room if you're not already in room, and you're just gonna type in whatever you want on the keyboard and then click enter. Boom. Now we can go ahead and head on out of Summit. So let's go. Whee! So I'm over here in the gazebo, and we're gonna start off with some basics. I want to show you the basics on how to run, how to move in this game. GTAG can be pretty difficult if you don't know what you're doing. So, just a little basic way to run. You need to move parallel to the ground. I mean, you've probably seen dozens of J-Man videos talking about how you need to move parallel to the ground, stuff like that. Well, that's completely true. But another thing I don't see people really talking about is when they get over to here to the ground, when we say move parallel to the ground, that doesn't just mean you're just going to run straight like this. What that also means is that you've got areas like this over here where it's like this. So what I like to do, I like to actually put my hands going in that direction. So I'm going up, I put my hands going like this. If I'm going down, I put my hands going down like this. I don't know if anyone else does that, but that seemed to help me when I was new to the game, and it also helps me even now. Another thing I want to mention is that you want to use a lot of force and you want to be fast when you move. I mean, I'll admit, I'm definitely not the fastest. Definitely not the fastest. I'm washed right now. And there goes my... Did I keep that? I don't know if I should keep that in. Anyways, so, basically, I'm not the fastest, as you can obviously see. I'm not that fast. I mean, I can do ground pretty well, but I'm currently washed. This is my first time playing in a long time, but honestly, who cares? So, what you want to do, if we're just ignoring the run itself, I am trying to use a lot of force and hit the ground as many times as possible, while also staying parallel to the ground and all that fun stuff. And the reason why I mention this is because a lot of people, they'll try to do a run like this, and then, boom, they either go up because they're not going parallel and not pulling yourself. It's another thing I forgot to mention. Make sure you're pulling yourself. You're not hitting up, because if you're hitting up, you could be moving like this. That's not what you want to do. You want to pull yourself forward like this and keep yourself low to the ground. That way you can hit more and reach faster speeds. While I may not be the fastest, definitely not the fastest, it's definitely something to remember. So make sure that you keep that in mind. Now we're going to move on to the next thing. So we're going to head on over to double walls. I personally had a lot of trouble first getting double walls down, but now I can do double walls pretty well, and I can do a lot of the advanced stuff. We'll get into that, all the advanced stuff, in a later video. Talk about the basics of this. When you come over to double walls, you might see people doing this. You know, they're just going up the wall, back and forth. And you might be like, oh, I want to do something like that. So you come over here, and you go to try, and boom. You just get stuck here, or you just don't go far enough. Let me try and give a good example of that. Boom, you just don't go far enough. So, what you want to do, first of all, you want to use enough force to actually hit yourself to the other side. Also, you don't want to go straight up, because, I mean, yes, you can go straight up without actually knowing how to do certain stuff like verticaling, or Lucioing, it's not going to help you that much. So if you don't know how to do those things, I recommend going over, hit an angle like that. You see how my hand is? My hand goes over, hits like that. Also, if you're wondering how I stick here for a second, your hand can actually stick on surfaces for a pretty good while. It's not that long, and I obviously am failing miserably right now, but you can stick on surfaces on walls and stuff for a pretty good while. As you can see, pretty simple. That's all it is. Little thing, you want to hit like that. I don't know how other people do it, but I hit like this, to the side like this. So imagine your hand is going like over here and going like that. Just not to that extent. You just can put your hearing like that. If you want to go fast, you can, but if you're just starting, I recommend taking your time and then just going slow. Pinch climbing. Pinch climbing is something that I personally found way easier than I did the actual going side to side on the double walls. Let's say you have somebody that, oh, this is my first time, and boom, I'm getting up these double walls, first try, boom, oh my gosh, I got up the double wall first try. You know, that to other people will seem, you know, like they're really good because of that. But one thing you got to remember is that doesn't mean they have practice with it. They may have done it, but you know, they might come over here and they might get lucky to do it another time, but then they might, you know, come over to do it again, and boom, they don't have the experience, they fail it completely. So I personally think the longer you practice for, the better. So even if you get it down the first time, I personally believe that you should keep practicing it until you completely get it down. Alright, so all you're going to do, you're going to come over here to the wall, you're going to grab. You don't have to jump like I did. But you're going to go over here to the wall, you're going to grab it. And I see people teach it to where you bring over and do like circles. You know, I don't know if, how many people do this, but in gym class, they will have you do circles with your arms. Big circles. I find that that's one way to do this. But basically, that's basically the gist of what you have to do. Do big circles with your arms going like backwards circles. Well, forwards. I don't know what that is. I'm dumb. Anyways, another thing to remember is that it can be pretty difficult if you're just starting out. Reason is because you might not know how much force to use, so you might use too much force and boom, you just barely get on. Or let's say you use too little force and boom, you're moving at a snail's pace. Unless you can just do it a whole bunch like really fast like that. So that's another thing to remember. There is another way though. I personally come over here. I don't do big circles. I grab, I pull down and launch myself up and then just catch myself. Now that's what I see. I see people teaching it both ways. That's why I'm mentioning it. Because honestly, you can use both. There's some times where I will be using, where I don't really pinch climb much, but I'll do small circles. Or big circles. Now, what's small circles there that I'll also show you. See small circles? I just come over here, I just do small circles in front of me like this. Kind of like to the side like that. And then I come up here and boom. Or you can do big circles like I said. Launch yourself further. Or another thing I was talking about, you can do it forward and backwards. So you can just do it like this. It's another way. So there's obviously different ways to do it. And it doesn't matter which way you do it. Just find out which one works best for you, and I'd say stick to it. Practice it, and then if you find another way is easier for you or faster, well, honestly, it's probably better. As long as you can do it well, I'd say then try doing that. So, some tips and tricks for doing double walls could be something like when you throw yourself, leaving yourself enough time to actually grab. Because sometimes, let's say, I did really fast, and then I'm going really fast, and then boom, I don't come back. I mean, I mess up, and then I come back like that. Well, what I'm trying to get to here is that, let's say that way you can keep yourself from messing up. If you do go to launch yourself like that, make sure, if you go to launch yourself back, if you accidentally go to launch yourself back, make sure you can actually grab yourself. Also, you can also do this intentionally. I've seen a lot of people do that, but I'm not the biggest fan of it unless I'm going to branches, because I am a branch main.